Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Aquarius, we have a little heart right there. It escaped. It had to get out. It had to show itself. We have, and it makes sense because we have the Knight of Cups, which to me, in my own symbolism, the Knight of Cups always represents the beloved. Now, the beloved could be a physical person, but often it is what we would call our anima or animus. Okay, our interior beloved, the other aspect of self, okay, kind of the balancing. And when we are very active in this union, when the beloved is very much in our life and we can feel that, it really is a sense of love beyond love. Okay, this is like agape. This is like when people are in grace, when they are in a sense of really communing and in the belovedness of the divine. Okay, so always happy to see that card come up. Definitely. Okay, let's see. What do we have going on here? So we have, it looks like a horse up at the top. And this is weird. It almost looks like we have a person over here you can see standing, and here's their head. They're holding a heart right there. And it looks like it reminds me of a hat box. Now, if you don't know what that is, they are these kind of round boxes. You maybe saw one at your grandma's house. Maybe you have one. I have one. It's full of sewing stuff. That's where I keep my sewing materials. But I'm just looking at this and I'm wondering if you got it from somebody. Well, maybe you don't even have one. I don't know. But the symbolism of the hat box, I think, is interesting. It really feels like, it almost feels like a kind of, like a misleading hiding, like it's a hiding place, right? Like if you could think of like in a library that has a book that you pull one out and then the door opens or whatever. It's kind of like this. I feel like it's not necessarily that you have a hat box, but you have somewhere where you're hiding something. I don't know. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's like your stamp collection from when you were a kid. Maybe it's love letters. I don't know what it is exactly, but it feels like something that is very sentimental to you. Okay. But here's the thing too, is that we have a skull up here. We have a skull, and we also have, if you turn it this way, it looks like it says Leon. It looks like Leon. So if you know a Leon. And so I'm wondering, and I actually want to use our oracle cards here because I want some insight about this. I almost wonder, and this is kind of where I'm kind of, I don't know, leaning maybe, that somebody from your past, maybe that you had a romantic relationship with, maybe like when you were a kid, you were in college, you know, when you still were writing letters to each other and stuff. And I feel like it's almost like the one that got away, or maybe like somebody that, you know, circumstances just kind of led you apart, and you have maybe not thought about them every single day of your life, right? But they do come up once in a while, and you miss that kind of love. And it seems like maybe they have departed, and maybe you have just found out about this, or maybe it has happened recently, but I think that they have maybe transitioned. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, we're going to flip through and we're just going to see. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I want to see what the cards have to say. So we have birth, escape, lust. Okay. Caution, order, vision. Okay. So I do feel like this is maybe somebody from where you grew up, where you were born. Maybe you lived in a small town, or maybe a neighborhood in a larger city. And, you know, I grew up in the city, and you can live in a city and still kind of have that small town vibe when you're in certain neighborhoods. It might be that, you know, you just were really close with the people that lived around you, or who you went to school with, or whatever. I think that you left. Absolutely. You probably went off to school, or, you know, traveled, or just something led you to move away when you were a little bit older. Okay. And I think that you had some kind of, you know, love affair, a dalliance, a first love, right, with somebody. I'm assuming that you went to school with. And I think that they were probably like an opposite for you. I think that this is somebody who, I feel like, because we have order, I feel like this is somebody who is almost like a type A, obsessive, maybe even kind of like OCD, unflexible in their beliefs, in their worldview. I think that they're prone to anger. And I think even at a younger age, you recognize this. Although you loved them, or love them, I think you still love them, you recognize that the way that you live, and I feel like you're probably a pretty, excuse me. Now we're talking about Aquarius, so you're a pretty free-spirited person. You don't want anybody telling you what to do. You'll do the opposite. You just gotta live life on your own terms, right? And so I feel like there was a sense of caution that, yeah, like, I don't know about this one, right? So you left, I think. You left, and yeah, and here we have vision. So we're having visions, dreams possibly, about what's going on here. And I want to do just like 2 more clarifiers, because I kind of want to see what is going on, right? Look, authority. You don't like anybody telling you what to do. And I think that's what it was with this person. Oh, and revenge. And maybe that's what kept you away. Concentration. Yeah, I think that, you know, and it keeps reiterating. And I think it's because it wants you to remember. Like, this is a person that was controlling, and I think that when you decided to break up with them, and maybe that's why you moved away, I don't know exactly, but there was this sense of you were afraid of them because they really blew up, you know. Usually when you're young, anyways, you hope so, you have a little relationship, you learn how to be a person, you know, courting another person, and then when things kind of fizzle out, yeah, you go your own ways and everything, but everybody is cool, and we can, you know, maybe say hi in the hallways, or, you know, whatever. This was not like that. This was somebody who just could not deal with not winning, right? They didn't win. And here's the other thing is they consider keeping their relationship going as winning, right? It's a game to them. And so I feel like when you got away, and this applies to most of your life in all the situations, when you are concentrating on something that you love, and I wonder if it was, you went away to school or something, you found things that you cared about, okay? Not things that you were taught or that, your parents bought you like a volleyball and you got really into volleyball or whatever. No, you went out in the world and you found things on your own. And I feel like being able to just go where you feel, it lends this kind of energy of optimism, okay? So whatever is going on, if this person is, coming back and trying to find you like on social medias, or you bump into them, or maybe it is like I said at the beginning, maybe you found out that they've passed away, right? And you feel really maybe torn up by this, maybe relieved a little bit, but I get the impression that to some degree there's some romanticization of how things used to be, and the universe, spirit, is really here like, hey, remember how wild and scary this person acted. Now, that's not to say that they always were like that. Maybe they grew up and they figured themselves out, but maybe they got worse. Who knows, I feel like it's a real messaging of protecting yourself, okay? Making sure you're protecting yourself. Now, we also have the letter C-E right here, C-E. C-E. And then there's a large M over here, an uppercase M. But this one also looks like two people facing each other. And we have a bird that's flying. So I almost feel like trying to find some peace within this relationship or this old thing, right? And I feel like it really maybe is with this box, kind of putting the stuff to rest, putting it away, right? Every once in a while, taking a look at it, but for the most part, letting it go. And I think the big thing that we all kind of do at times, and we have to really be conscious of this, is that we can. And by the way, I think this person was a Leo because we did have that line. I forgot to say that earlier. But we can, I just totally forgot what I was saying. Sorry. I have to remember. What was I going to say? I'm looking at this as a key, I think. It looks like a key. Yeah, I don't know. I totally interrupted myself. We also have a little dog there. We have the key, the dog. Here's the dog right here. We have a person right there. We have a large key right here. We also have the number 10, 10. Oh, yeah. I think this is what I was going to say. I think we all have sometimes this thing where we romanticize old relationships or old situations, people from the past. And it could have been terrible. It could have been wonderful, whatever. It doesn't matter because it's in the past. But then we take that thing that is kind of like a fiction living in our heads, and we compare our other relationships to it. Now, even for me, here's a good example, and it's totally ridiculous, but sometimes I think like, back when I was 20 years old and I had this, wild and exciting and passionate, roaming the city and going to shows and doing graffiti and all the things I used to do. And these were the kinds of relationships I had. And it was free and open and autonomous and still connected and together and lovely and all of that. And sometimes I stop and I think, now I'm married to a wonderful man, by the way. Shout out to my husband, Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is not Dove or Dave. I know some of you say that. His name is Paul. I do call him Dave sometimes, just because of the comments. But we have a wonderful life together. We have a beautiful child, a home, a business, and all the things you could ask for. And we have worked very hard for it, But I think sometimes it's like, well, why can't we just, take off any day we want and go do whatever we want to do? And we can, right? We could abandon our responsibilities and just go live wildly and like 20-year-olds. But I suspect it wouldn't be the same, right? It wouldn't be the same anymore because I'm a different person. But that fiction that I'm remembering in my head, right? The feelings I had, and they've become so much more over these years, it can't be compared because the circumstances are different. And really, am I even the same person? Even physically, my cells have renewed themselves probably twice over since I was 20 years old. So, we have to be mindful to not live in the past too much, okay? I think it's one of the big things that causes us so much, just feeling let down, right? Unsettled. Just wanting for something that is never to be again. And so what is wonderful right in front of our face, we can't even see it because we're back there, worried about something that happened 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. So might be worth thinking about. Well, and here's the thing too, maybe doing like a little ritual, like a closing ritual to let it lie. Find yourself a little box or a nice container or whatever it is. Maybe you write a letter, put your keepsakes, whatever. Put it in there and seal it up. Put it in the fireplace. No, I don't know. I just like to burn old things, okay? I'm like, let's get rid of it. Or bury it or just, tuck it away. But don't spend your time opening it constantly, right? Let's see. We have a goose. And it looks like we have grapes. Goose and grapes. And leaves falling. It looks like a leaf. Not a tea leaf, like the formation of a leaf in a tree, and the leaves are blowing. So I feel like, we have, maybe this is a good time to have a little break, right? We had the key over here. And I think that sometimes, right, we can get so involved with something mentally. And I feel like this is a chance for you to kind of, yeah, well, take some time with something else, right? Doing something that you love to do, maybe going on a little trip, maybe doing like a hobby, going dancing. With the grapes, I wonder if it's some kind of like bacchanalian thing, right? Dionysus with his grapes and wine. Yeah, maybe just letting loose a little bit, you know, just reminding yourself, hey, I'm still alive, right? I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still interested in living an exciting life. And I'm tired of, you know, kind of living in the past, not allowing myself to move forward, you know, or to move forward, but in a way that feels kind of limited. Okay. And also we have and that's the key, right? The key for me here, and that's what this particular key is going to represent, is finding something that brings love into your life. Okay. Finding, and I don't just mean another person, although they do say the best way to get over somebody, or if you're remembering an old love, is to get up under somebody else. I think that's how they say it. Whoever they is. Get up under somebody else. So meet somebody else, right? It's like if you're breaking up, you're in a divorce or something, and it's like within a month, you're already like moved in with somebody else, right? A new person. Maybe not that quick, but yeah, I mean, I think that's how not everybody, how a lot of people deal with these kinds of romantic turmoil kinds of feelings. And so, you know, I'm not one to advocate that. I think that everybody should have time to be by themselves. But this feels like something from the old times, right? This is from when you were young. And so I feel like, yeah, maybe if you are single, maybe going out on a date or two, reminding yourself you still got it. You don't have to live in the past thinking about this person from ages ago, you know? But, you know, maybe you're just like me. You just go further into yourself. So finding something that you like to do. It is getting close to the holidays here. All kinds of holidays coming up. And a lot of them are gift-giving holidays. So if you are thinking about maybe making some gifts, this is a good time to start. Oh my gosh, the other day I was making invitations for a thing. It's for my daughter. I'm having like a cookie decorating and pizza party for all of these preschool age kids. And I couldn't believe it. It's in December, but I'm already giving people invitations because it gets so busy this time of year. And next thing we know, it's going to be January 15th. You know, it's just wild how fast this time of year goes. So, yeah, maybe start thinking about how you can maybe make some gifts, save on some money if you're a crafter or something like that. Or, you know, just generally start getting your decorating going. I don't know. I don't know how long we're going to have a tree out. And this isn't to say everybody is doing Christmas. I actually don't necessarily do Christmas, although we call it Christmas. But to me, it's Saturnalia. So, yeah, maybe you're like a person that has it out like right after Halloween, you know? And so let's go ahead. We're going to do 3 lucky numbers. 85, number 85, number 44, 85, 44, 50. All All right, 85, 44, and 50. Now we're going to go ahead. We're going to do these inner child oracle cards. And these are just to punctuate the reading, okay? We're just going to flip through. We're going to stop where it feels right. 31. Seek guidance in this. It is time for a different perspective. It is time for a different perspective. All right, there we go. Okay, Aquarius, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. I read all of them. And also, did I say liking? Yeah, if you want to like the video, it helps the channel a lot. I don't know. Everything is so discombobulated today. I'm just like trying to figure it out step by step. I'm in this like mode of lists. There's just so much going on. It's like almost none of it has to do with me besides me facilitating things. It's like all kid stuff and like family events and birthdays and yeah, so it's not bad. I'm not complaining, but my brain is, if we open the top of my head like a cartoon, there would be springs and hamsters and all kinds of stuff just leaping out of there. It is a mess. So anyways, Aquarius, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Good night.